Hello, fourth grade students. This is Miss Gonzalez. I am excited to present to you our first day of online learning for writing. Today is Monday, April 6th, 2020. Our learning objective is the student will be able to brainstorm ideas for a rhyming poem by completing a graphic organizer. So I've highlighted this part right here because this is what our focus is. We're brainstorming. Another word for brainstorming is thinking through ideas for a rhyming poem. I'm going to show you today what it looks like when a poem rhymes. So you're going to be writing your own poem by completing a graphic organizer. Okay, so I'm going to give you a graphic organizer to help organize your thinking. So that is our objective for today. All right, so let's talk about what poetry is. It's been a while since we've been in class, so we need to remind ourselves. So poetry can have lots of reasons why it's written. This is the author's purpose. It can entertain us with a story, express emotion, or describe something in a new way. This says inventive. That means creative. The elements, we've got the elements are the parts of a poem. Language and word choices that are precise and vivid. Vivid words usually give you a picture in your mind of what you're reading. Another element or part of poetry would be line breaks. Okay, this end a line to emphasize ideas or images. And then stanzas, a group of lines that are kept together because they're related to each other. It's kind of like a paragraph. We have different forms of poetry. You can have a narrative poem, which is telling a story, lyrical, which kind of sounds like a song, concrete, free verse, and many, many more. The elements. What are the elements of poetry? Elements, again, just means the parts. In a poem, you're going to see line breaks. This is where the line of a text ends. You're going to see stanzas, which are a group of lines. It's kind of like a paragraph. You're going to see that it has rhythm, the beat of a poem. Not all poems have this, but a lot of them do. You might see rhyme scheme, the pattern of the rhymes, and then repetition. Lines are words that are repeated. And usually if there is something repeated in a poem, it's because it's really important. It's probably part of the main idea of the poem or the theme of the poem. So today we're going to focus just on rhyme scheme. This is when poems rhyme. And this is when there's a pattern of how they rhyme. I'm going to show you what that means. Okay. So rhyme scheme is the pattern of the rhyme. So here's an example. Okay, here's a poem I wrote for my cat, Mr. Fat. Those of you who have me in class, you are very familiar with Mr. Fat because I talk about him a lot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, trust me, you're going to learn all about Mr. Fat, and you might even see him from time to time in these videos. So let's take a look at this poem. It says, my cat is nice. My cat likes mice. My cat is fat. I like my cat. This is very true. Very true of Mr. Fat. Now over here we have some letters, A, B, B. Well, these letters are what we call the rhyme scheme. It's the pattern. Why do we have A here and A here? Well, if we look over here, it's because nice and mice rhyme with each other. So they have the same letter. If we look down here, we've got a B and a B. Why is there a B and a B and not an A? Well, it's not an A because fat doesn't rhyme with nice and cat doesn't rhyme with nice. Instead, they rhyme with each other, fat, cat. So they get the letters B and B because they rhyme with each other. So when I look over here, I can automatically tell which lines rhyme with each other. These two rhyme and these two. Okay, let's look at another example. We look over here, now we see the rhyme scheme is different. A-B, A-B. If we read our poem, we'll be able to figure out why. My cat is nice. My cat is fat. Okay, so I notice these two don't rhyme. So it's going to be an A and then a B because they don't rhyme. My cat likes mice. I like my cat. Well, mice rhymes with nice. So if this line is an A and this one rhymes with this one, then this line is going to be an A. Cat, fat. Well, those two rhyme. If this line's a B and it rhymes with this line also has to be a B. So we have a rhyme scheme of A, B, A, B. And look at this one. Here's another example. A, B, C, B. Well, that's way different than the other two. If we look at our poem, it says, my cat is gray, my cat is fat. Okay, well, gray and fat don't rhyme. So line 1 gets A, line 2 gets B. My cat is cute. Well, this doesn't rhyme with any of those, right? It doesn't rhyme with A, which is gray. It doesn't rhyme with B, which is fat. So it gets a new letter, C. I like my cat. Well, wait a second. Cat rhymes with fat, and fat is labeled with a B. So that means I go down here and I also label it with a B because these two lines rhyme with each other. This line doesn't rhyme with any of them. That's why there's only one A. And this line doesn't rhyme with any of them. That's why this is the only one with a C. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. The first step is teacher does. Those of you who know me, who've been in my classroom, you know what that means. Whenever I do teacher does, your only job is to look and listen. Well, let me say that again. Your only job is to look and listen. Watch what I do so that you know what to do when it's your turn. All right, we're going to read our poem first. Mr. Brown, the circus clown, puts his clothes on upside down. He wears his hat upon his toes and socks and shoes upon his nose. Mr. Clown has got some issues, it seems. All right, so if we want to do our rhyme scheme, we're going to start with our first line here. The first line's always going to be an A, okay? So this would be an A. It ends with clown. Let me go down to my next line. I have down. Okay, so we're going to have an A and an A. He wears his hat upon his toes. Okay, so toes does not rhyme with clown. So this line's going to be a B. And socks and shoes upon his nose. Okay, well, nose doesn't rhyme with clown, so it can't be A, but it does rhyme with toes. So that's going to be a B. So we have a rhyme scheme of A, B, B. All right, next one. We do together means we're going to talk through it together. Now, we can't really talk to each other, but we're going to type, okay? And I'm going to give you time after I read it to think. You're going to be typing your answers in the chat over here. My penmanship is pretty bad. My printing's plainly awful. In truth, my writing looks so sad. It ought to be unlawful. All right, penmanship is your handwriting. So they're saying their handwriting is really bad. And then they say, my printing's plainly awful. Okay, well, let's look here. We've got bad and awful. Think about what that means for the rhyme scheme. Is it going to be an A and an A and a B? In truth, my writing looks so sad. It ought to be unlawful. Okay, now I notice sad here and then unlawful. Okay, if sad rhymes with one of the other lines, you're going to put that letter there. And same for unlawful. So is it A, B, B? Is it A, B, B? Is it A, B, C, A? Take some time to think about it. Type in your answer in the chat, and we'll look at it together. Oopsie. Well, let me see. What just happened? Let's get back to our slide. Okay, there it is. All right, take some time. See if you can figure out that rhyme scheme. All right, let's take a look at our answer. Whoops. Oh my goodness. What happened? Okay, yep, here we go. It is A, B, A, B. Why? Because bad and sad rhyme, and awful and unlawful rhyme. So they are B and B. All right, one more for you to do on your own. You're just going to type in your answer over on the chat. I started on my homework, but my pen ran out of ink. My hamster ate my homework. My computer's on the blink. Okay, so think about this. Homework, ink, homework, blink. Go ahead and type in your answer now. And let's look at our answer. If I can get it to, whoops, there it is. A, B, A, B. Homework and homework, they rhyme. It's the same word. Ink and blink. All right, so now here's your assignment for today. You're going to be writing your own poem. Not the whole thing today. Today's just going to be brainstorming. But here is our writing prompt. Think about some of the teachers or adults you miss from AM Pate. Anyone who works at AM Pate. Doesn't have to be a teacher. Could be Miss Snow, could be someone in the cafeteria, could be Miss Robinson, could be a principal. Write a 4-line poem with a rhyme scheme explaining this person and why you miss them. All right, so you're going to be writing a 4-line poem. It's going to have one of our rhyme schemes, and you are going to explain writing about this person by explaining them and why you miss them. Now, you might be feeling like this right now. Oh, Miss Gonzalez. But don't worry, because I'm going to show you. Okay, so you're going to go to our 4th grade writing page. You're going to click on the assignment. Okay, you're going to come over here where it says your work. Click on where your name is. It's going to open it up for you. Here it has our prompt again. We're starting on brainstorming today. Okay, so when we brainstorm, we always start with our list of 3. Okay, so our prompt is write a 4-line poem with a rhyme scheme explaining this person and why you miss them. So we need a list of 3 people we miss. Okay, so I'm going to write down my 3. Got Miss McGuinn, Miss Davis, and Miss Howard. Okay, now I'm going to think about, because I got to fill in this graphic organizer down here, and I got to be able to describe that person and explain why I miss them. So I need to pick the best person that I can do that for. So I'm going to go with Miss McGuinn. Notice, this is what you guys are going to be doing, typing in these things just like I am. So once you have your list of 3, you're going to pick one and put that person's name here. Now, I'm going to write some words to describe Miss McGuinn to help me with my poem. She's funny. She is, let's say, intelligent and caring. If the numbers move when you write, don't worry about it. Now, why do I miss her? Miss McGuinn because she keeps me laughing all the time. And she is there for me when I need her. Okay? When you're brainstorming, you're not going to worry about spelling. Okay? Now, this whole time, everything I do, it's saving. It says all changes saved in Drive. So when you're done with this, all you have to do is go up here and click Turn In. And it will turn in the assignment. This assignment is due tomorrow, April 7th by 12 o'clock noon. Have fun!